And they said Iron Hands EX was going to be the next ADP of the format. Nobody told them about these two cards here in combination with each other to work so well to create such a toxic deck. I'm going to talk to you today about Iron Valiant EX in combination with Entei V. We're calling the deck Kibbles and Bits, or at least a couple people on the internet are, and I really do love this deck. It is super fun, but it's also really toxic for the format, and I kind of like decks like that. So we're going to talk about the full deck list here. We're going to talk about how it got to the finalist spot at LAIC, and then maybe some changes that we're going to make to this list to make it even better. Stick around for that full list. Before we do, as always, shout out to all of our awesome sponsors. You can check out all of their links down in the description below, or also use some of these awesome discount codes here. That way you can save some money on some Pokemon product. We'll catch you over at that deck list. Alright, so when we take a look at the full list here, you see that one of the best cards in the list is a 4 of. Who would have thought? We do have 4 of the Iron Valiant EX in the list for Tachyon Bits, because when it moves into the active, you do get to place 2 damage counters, which can be used over and over, so you could stack this ability. It's so great here, and little things like Comfey, or maybe a Charmander, or maybe some other random deck is going to play some basic Pokemon that has to evolve or just be the engine for a deck, and that's really what you want to feed off of with your Iron Valiant. It gets hungry sometimes. But speaking of hungry Pokemon, we do have this Entei V here with its mouth open on the card art, which is very cute always, but having this Pokemon be a 230 hit point Pokemon, being a 3 of in this specific build, having the fleet-footed ability, it's just such a well-rounded card. You do have that higher HP to set it apart from something like a Raikou V and a Suicune V, but now having a Burning Rondo attack that does extra damage based on the amount of bench Pokemon on either side of the board is really good here. And yeah, it has a 3 retreat cost and it's weak to water, but who cares? We do have things in the list like Magma Basin. We're playing a 4 of copy of those, and that's able to accelerate energy to it because it is a fire Pokemon. Now in this list, we're trying something different out, and we do have a Cramorant in the list as well. Now Cramorant, it seems splashed in and out of here, but it's an extra single prize attacker. Now this is really good because we do play 3 Colress, and that's getting cards into the Lost Zone, and we play 1 of the Lost Vacuum in this list too, so we're able to Lost Vacuum our opponent's tool cards or stadiums if there's a Path to the Peak in play, and stopping us from using our Tachyon Bits. The next card we're going to talk about in this list really does get hurt by Path to the Peak. We have 1 of Squawkabilly EX that has the Squawk and Seize ability. You get to dump your hand and draw 6 new cards. Hopefully you draw yourself into a draw supporter, but we've got enough engine here to get us to that point. Squawk and Seize is so good as an ability. We're just able to ramp up our first turn so much better than our opponent if we get this Squawk and Seize off. So I really love that card. Now 2 other tech cards in the list. One is going to be the Radiant Charizard, which is able to use the Combustion Blast attack based off of the prize cards your opponent's taken. So this is a late game finisher, but you can really ramp this up as we saw in some of the games at LAIC with extra energies throughout turns that you're just using your Tachyon Bits and your Entei V. Then to clean up, we really have a Medicham V here, so if we're getting a small Pokemon down to low HP, we can scoop this Yoga Loop into play and just take an extra turn. Who doesn't love extra turns? But Yoga Loop has been such a great force in a lot of other Rapid Strike decks, and now we're getting to see that in something else, finally being able to use this Yoga Loop in something that doesn't have an Urshifu or Inteleon or any 3 prize Pokemon based deck is really good. Now hopping over to the trainer cards, we do see that we're playing 1 of the TM Devolution, and I think that's really good here. If you have some Pokemon on your opponent's side that evolved, you can really just start to use your Tachyon Bits and then sweep 2 Pokemon off the board. Now we are playing 1 of the Forest Sealstone in this list, and we're playing a couple of the Trekking Shoes too, so we're able to siphon through our deck a little bit easier, and that's what you want to see in a list like this. You want to go fast, you want to be aggressive, and that's exactly what this deck does. So we're going to play it on the ladder and see how a couple of these games are going to go. we've got the Gengar coin here. Very, very cool. I love me some Gengar for sure. We're going to see what our opponent's playing, and they got tails on the coin flip. So we actually want to go second in this matchup. So something to note is that this matchup, I feel like going second is optimal. I know that it doesn't make sense a lot of the time, but getting out your Tachyon bits, being able to use a draw supporter, as we see we've got quite a few in here, but no Pokemon, unfortunately. And then just like going into the rest of your deck, getting your Squawk out, it's so good. Wow, look at that hand, holy moly. All right, so we're just gonna put our, yeah, you know what? Let's put our Entei up top here so we can always fleet foot if we need to. We will go ahead and thin the deck before we fleet foot though. Let's take a look. A Ralts. Oh, this is beautiful. This is like absolutely perfect here. Okay. We got the Artisan. Now we can go in and get another Iron Valiant. We could probably get a Medicham V. We can try to Yoga Loop because they're putting out a secondary Pokemon. Even if they get 2 Pokemon, you have to understand this too. Okay, well, it's not a Gardevoir deck. This is definitely different. Perfect. Got 2 Iron Valiant from hand. We're going to throw the Battle VIP Pass here. And we can get Yoga Loop, Iron Hands, or yeah, Iron Hands, Iron Valiant. We can get another Iron Valiant, and we can get a Squawk. We can Squawk too. And that's exactly what we're going to do because we don't have a draw supporter. Let's take a look at how many draw supporters we have in the deck. We've got 7, all 7. We collected the whole set, so that's good. Step number 1 is going to be to take out this Zorua, this poor Zorua. There's the Tachyon bits number 1. And we'll do Tachyon bits number 2. Now let's see if we can get a turn 1 Yoga Loop. That would be pretty funny if we did that. And a empty hand, I'll give myself a high five. We're going to Squawk and Seize, caw, if you will. Okay. We'll go ahead and put this this here. We'll do some of this. And we do have to get rid of our Charizard, unfortunately, but I think that that is absolutely fine. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful magic. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. And now what I will do for my next trick is to use the Magma Basin. Just go in and Magma Basin an energy to this Pokemon. Oh, wow. And then we're just going to switch it up and go into a Yoga Loop. Because we can, right? Yoga Loop, the active Pokemon. You love to see it, right? Absolutely insane. We're just going to take 1 prize card. There's a Trekking Shoes, even more cards for us. And now we start our second turn. And as long as we can draw into an energy, which I feel like top deck magic right there, we are just going to go ahead and bring up our Entei V and strike this Ralts right in the face. And that's it. That's how easy this deck works.
Hey trainers. Tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck.
Right, let's see. Do we want to go first? We're going to say no. We want to go second. That's really what you want to do most of the time. I'm excited to see what we're up against. Maybe we'll play a meter. All right, we've got the Entei. We've got a draw supporter. We got the Charizard. We've got the Squawk, technically, as long as it's not prized. That's good. Okay. Looking good for us, right? Got a single prize attacker. All's well and good here. Okay. So they're going to try to not get Yoga Looped. I'm assuming a Jirachi's coming out of this Battle VIP Pass. So it's going to be a little difficult for us, for sure. Let's see what actually happens. and see if we just get our face stomped in by Charizard EX. I'm assuming... Okay, no Jirachi. Maybe Jirachi's prized. Maybe they're a little upset about the... Okay, the Nest Ball. Oh, yeah, sure. Still no Jirachi. Very interesting, indeed. Alright, so we've got 3 Charmander in play. And the Battle VIP Pass. Oh, no. Alright, so Squawk is in the deck. And we're going to go get our Iron Valiant to start the Tachyon Bits nonsense. And we'll get another Iron Valiant. We add, put down the Charizard. And go here. Wow. Now, will we ever need another one? Is the question. So we could take out something with a Yoga Loop. So that's a thing. Let's try a Yoga Loop. Let's see how many outs we have in the deck. I mean, we do have a few outs. So let's just fail that. That's fine. I think that really what we want to try to do is just go like this. We're still taking 2 prizes this turn. We're going to go 1 Charmander. 2 Charmanders. 1 prize card here. Don't need a Yoga Loop just yet. Just kind of play around it. Let's take that. Okay, there's our next Iron Valiant. We're going to have to get rid of this Iron Valiant, unfortunately. Alright. The Evolution's always good. And the Jet Energy, also good. Put this on our Entei. Seems fine. Let's Jet Energy up and take our second prize card. We can Fleet Foot here. Now we get to draw an extra card. This is also good. Now we have a draw supporter for the next turn and 180 to this poor harmless little Charmander. That's very unfortunate for them. They're down to 1 Charmander. And it looks like they're playing the Evo version. So as long as we can get this thing out, I think we're doing just fine. We don't have any cards in the Lost Zone, so Colress is going to help us set up for our single prize attacker. All right, let's see what we got going on here. There's the Charmeleon, only 90 hit points. So we could still do some things here. We can take out one of their Bidoofs, as long as we're drawn into enough switch cards. You could always manually retreat with the double turbo energy, so that's something that we can think about here. Now this has 70 HP, so we're not able to knock it out with Dev. You do have to actually swing into it, which is a little rough. So let's see what happens. We got the Evo, and this is just going to go... That's an interesting play for sure. All right, let's see what our opponent draws. They're going to have to manually attach energy. I don't know if they knew that, but definitely do have to manually attach energy if you do something like that. First thing that we want to do is we want to get all of our switching outs. I can't even use Magma Basin, huh? Okay, well, I think that we're fine. Step 1, get rid of the Bidoof. 1. We'll go 2. And there we go. Second Tachyon bits. There's 2. We can hit into this Charizard, which seems very good here. Then let's go 3. Let's not mess this up here. Perfect math. Let's go into this. And there we go. We got rid of that. And the Forest Seal Stone. Wow. We are gaming. We're going to go ahead and just take care of this thing. I'm going to Fleet Foot. Use that. Got another double turbo energy. And we are now swinging. Burning Rondo for 140 damage. That means if we're able to just hit this thing with a de-evolution, that's pretty much sealing it up for us for the remainder of the game, because chances are what they're going to try to do is just get another Charmander onto the board some way, shape, or form, but they have 4 cards in hand, which means Bibarel is only able to draw them 1 card here, really just wiping out their entire board in a matter of a couple turns. I think that we're going to get Iono. That's what's scary. So Iono is a little scary. Not having a space to put the Forest Seal Stone, because I did want a space for either Bravery Charm or the TM is really good here. I guess we could have done a switch, but it all feels bad, right? Everything feels a little bad. Okay. Well, we could try to draw some energies. Do we have energy in the discard pile? No, that's a little unfortunate. Fine. I need my Devo. My Devo TM. All right, we got an energy on the active. And then Magma Basin over here. I see what you're trying to do. That's pretty okay. Now I could just swing into this because we've got 190. So we've got 120 on our side of the board, 40, 60, 80. If they put down one more thing, then we're knocking out Charizard EX. They don't have anything else in the deck. You're going to rely on this Charizard to try to swing in. Counter Catcher, that's something you don't see every day. Okay, there we go. Now we can knock it out. Perfect. So we're going to switch cart right into this guy. Put 20 on the active. Now let's not make a mistake and get Iono'd again, but we want to first plant our energy here, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Our opponent is ready to scoop it up. And that's pretty much how the deck works in a nutshell. We got to see the toxicity of this deck, pretty much able to wipe out an entire board state on your opponent's side in the first couple of turns. That Tachyon Bits is just unbelievably good in the meta right now with some small startup decks like Gardevoir, Charizard, Lost Box, you name it. It's really good against a lot of those. So I hope that you really enjoyed the degeneracy of this deck. If you want to use it yourself, you can always copy and paste this list down in the description of the video into your PTCG Live and use that. Now you can also go on ptcglstore.com and use our code TSS5 and save yourself 5% off of all of the code cards to get yourself some credits to buy cards like this if you don't already have them. But make sure you're checking out all the other links down there too. Let us know if you did like our list and what changes you might make in the comments of the video. You can always hit the like button, the subscribe button if you want to help boost this channel for us and show your support to the Shuffle Squad. That's all I have for this video now. This is PJ signing off. We will catch you next time.
You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.